All right, and welcome to the light. We have a special interview. We have Julie Hain from the South Jersey Cultural Alliance who is joining me today. A little while ago, she contacted me and asked if I would take over their social media, sort of as a guest editor or a 1 month or so residency. And I happily said yes. So I'll be discussing and introducing some of my favorite artists from across South Jersey to the people who go to the South Jersey Cultural Alliance website, social media such as Twitter, Instagram. Those of you who are still on MySpace, you'll be able to see my interviews and offerings during my residency there. But we're so happy to have Julie Hain with us. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
Well, thanks for having me, Raymond. We're very excited about your social media takeover this month, and we're happy to find other ways that we can partner with you. We've been working with Raymond quite a bit on this and that, and we're happy to be partnering with him and being able to talk to all of you.
Great. Well, let's start with that. How did you get the idea that you even wanted someone to take over your social media? It's a very innovative idea.
Well, basically, it sprung from a conversation we had Raymond earlier on, and about a month or so ago. You were looking for physical space to do a Black History Month exhibition, and we were working to see if we couldn't find a space for you to do that. We, thought we might have a couple options, but nothing had enough time for you to put anything in a physical space. And it occurred to me that we have plenty of digital space that we can offer you. And certainly we're happy to have you and your perspective and your voice and your audience brought along with you for that. SJCA has been trying very hard to expand our audiences and represent the full spectrum of arts and culture and history in South Jersey. And things like a social media takeover like this allow us to give artists and in those communities a direct connect with SJCA, with our audience, and to expose their audience to some of the things that we offer as well.
Okay, all right. You're relatively new to sitting in the big chair at South Jersey Cultural Alliance. Can you tell us a little bit about, I know myself included, whenever I get into the big chair, I want to pay respects and not break up anything the person who was there before me did, but I also want to bring my own vision. So what is Julie's own vision?
Well, I've been with SJCA for about 3 years. I'm going into my third year, and I've held actually a few roles with the organization. I came in as a membership engagement manager and quickly realized that we were a little out of touch with who our membership should be. So my first question was, who are the communities we're trying to serve? Who are our customers? And it was really difficult to answer that question because there was no central directory or repository of information about where all of the artists and arts organizations in South Jersey were, or how to communicate with them. So that was my first thought was, we need to understand the landscape before we can understand how to serve the landscape. And that really led us down a road of strategic planning and rethinking the way that we work and the way we communicate with the community. And, we started to really ask ourselves the question, are we living up to our name? Are we the South Jersey Cultural Alliance? Are we representing all of arts and culture in South Jersey? And the answer was a resounding no. And we, recognized that we weren't doing that there were lots of communities and lots of players out there in the arts and cultural field that we were completely ignoring. And to try and remedy that, we really started to think about the Cultural Asset Mapping Project as a way to not only for us to research and understand and do outreach and connect with these artists and these groups and these communities, but to provide a tool that the whole cultural community can use by centralizing all of that information on an interactive map on our website, so that artists looking for artists can find each other, organizations looking for artists to do programming can find artists, administrators can find each other, theater groups can find each other. So we really, felt strongly that creating a central directory that was a roadmap to arts and culture in South Jersey was a very good first step in helping to really fully represent all of South Jersey arts and culture. And so, that's been my kind of focus since I came to SJCA. And as I kind of moved through different positions into programs director, associate director, and now ultimately the executive director, that direction has continued and our partnerships have deepened and we've added on to that. So now we have the map. We're launching a new website in March. It's going to have even more searchable, navigatable resources and opportunities. And it's really creating this central digital hub of information so that all of that information that comes in from all the different statewide entities and all the different funders and all the different advocacy channels, all of that is collected by SJCA, and we take that information, summarize it, and give it back to you in the form of a weekly bulletin with timely updates, the website that will have all the resources and updates, the map, monthly convenings for artists, administrators. We've got Givitas, which is a fantastic new dedicated social media platform where admins or artists or anyone within the cultural community can log in and ask a question, offer a resource. It's really a place online for people to connect. So we've been, working really hard over the past year or so to build up that directory and build up those resources. And we've grown from about 85 established nonprofit organizations to just under 1,000 cultural assets and cultural destinations and artists listed in that directory. So it's an extreme amount of growth, which has really been mostly the result of sharing data with partners and doing outreach and connecting with people like Raymond and Sustainable Jersey and the County Cultural and Heritage offices and some of our larger anchor institutions that have been members for a long time. And we shared data about who they worked with and who we were working with. And we've come pretty far, but there's still a long way to go. So we want to continue the outreach, continue to talk about the projects, and continue to let people know SJCA is here to talk to you and provide support for the work you're doing.
Wow, you've given us a lot to chew on there. So why don't we do this? Can you tell us how to reach the South Jersey Cultural Alliance website?
Sure. You can visit sjca.net, and that'll bring you to the main website. And right from the homepage, you can connect to the map. You can connect to event listings for members, event listings for other webinars and information around the field. Look at the grant listing, our diversity, equity, inclusion resources. There's a lot of accessibility resources on the site as well. COVID relief and grant funding, advocacy, it's all there. And as I said, in March, it will be repackaged and rebranded and shined up and made new and improved for you to use. So we're really looking forward to that happening in March.
Great, great. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Light. You are watching whatever social media page you are watching for the South Jersey Cultural Alliance to see my interview with Ms. Julie Hain, who is the executive director. Okay, so I know that you're undertaking a couple of projects to make a strong push to have more inclusion from people of color, Latinx. Who am I forgetting?
All of the underrepresented communities. So Hispanic, people of color, Indigenous, LGBTQ, people with disabilities. We want the full spectrum. Anyone who's involved in arts and culture, we really want to connect with them and understand what their needs and challenges are and make sure that they're aware of all the resources that are available to them. And if there are resources that aren't available, we want to know about that too, so that we can collectively advocate for those resources in South Jersey.
Now, what are some of the things that the South Jersey Cultural Alliance has, besides yours truly, and has in the pipeline to help these artists and to also draw them draw them to memberships and participation in future South Jersey Cultural Alliance projects?
Sure. Well, I think first and foremost, the map is kind of a big entry point for lots of the artists and organizations that we're just now getting to know. So when you come in as part of the mapping project, you're given a free basic level membership to SJCA, which means you get into our communication network, you start to get our bulletins and invites to all of the convenings, you get access to the Givitas platform, you get a landing page on our website that can help to provide a bigger digital footprint for you. And then once you're in that mix, you can start to attend the convenings, which we offer monthly. We offer an artist-specific conversation, and then a more general convening for all memberships, so administrators and executive directors and marketing people and all the folks that are in the trenches doing the work day to day. So you can really get involved with them and get connected. Something else that we're looking at rolling out, and we're just in the beginning phases of that, is our ambassador program, in which we're looking for artists in the field that we are going to provide a small fellowship to, so that they can really put down some roots in the cultural community in the counties that they live and reside in. And we're doing that because we really want to develop a set of leaders throughout South Jersey that can understand and advocate for and have a positive impact on the challenges that their specific communities are dealing with. South Jersey is a big place. There's 8 counties. It's very geographically spread out. We have everything from very rural to very urban, and those needs are very different. So it's incredibly difficult as one organization with a very small staff. Currently, it's just me, although we're still hiring, and if anyone is looking for part-time or full-time work. But we can't know what's going on in every community, in every geographic location in South Jersey, the way that someone who lives and works in that community will be able to do. So the intention is provide the fellowship, give them a toolkit that includes education and professional development and project management and advocacy and communication, so that they know how to work within their community to accomplish whatever their goals might be. And then at the end of the ambassadorship, we hope that what they're left with is this toolkit for success, so they can take those leadership skills and go on and serve on boards, committees, staff, or head up their own community initiatives or arts and culture initiatives with that toolkit that they were, building during the ambassadorship. And we hope that provides, a catalyst for a pipeline of diverse and inclusive leaders that are ready to sit in those seats, at the table and really have a strong impact. It's a long road, and SJCA realizes that. We know that we're at the very beginning of this process of connecting and showing these communities that we've been ignoring that we're here, and we offer resources. And we know that just because we knock, you don't have to answer. And we are in it for the long haul, and we're trying to be approaching these things as authentically and authentically, and I'm searching for a word.
Sincerely.
Sincerely, yes, and it really does come from a true desire to represent everyone and hear everyone's voice and connect everyone. So I think between the map and the ambassador program, we're getting a good start, and then we're adding in things like these social media takeover and other programs, along the way.
As an artist, it really is exciting to see this happen, because I've traveled across the country, and you don't have many other states that have environments that artists create from, as diverse as the wetlands and the marshes, going all the way to the most urban cityscapes. And I've been in poetry readings or art galleries where you hear poems about, again, the sea marsh, and you hear poems about corner boys, or you see, old schools depicted in oil paints that don't exist anymore, alongside cranes. And they're all South Jersey.
Right.
And it is very exciting. So I'm glad that South Jersey Cultural Alliance, rather than trying to, because this has been my experience in the past on both sides, people have tried to force those artists apart. And I think that you can bring them together without infringing on each other or losing, any of the edge or the creativity that they bring.
Agreed, agreed. And that's what we hope. We hope that we're bringing together different perspectives, different voices, different styles, different sets of resources, different pools of audience. I mean, we really, to be successful in a place like South Jersey, where things do run such a gamut from, the marsh to the inner city, we
Right.
really have to be conscious of the fact that all of those individual pieces are valid and relevant and make up the fabric of what South Jersey is. And it's so much more interesting than if it was all fine art or all one particular style. I mean, the story we have to tell is so multifaceted that it would be very difficult to get bored exploring what we have going on in arts and culture and history here in South Jersey. And that overlap is unique to us. I mean, we are unique. We are, as a region, different than North Jersey and different than Central Jersey, but not separate from them, or not,
Right.
needing to differentiate ourselves by negating what they do. What everyone
Right.
does is valid. And if we can all
Right.
come together and find the pieces that overlap and build bridges, then everyone's work gets more interesting and more, has more layers to it, and can become a conversation starter.
Without a doubt. You are listening to The Light. I'm here with Julie Hain from the South Jersey Cultural Alliance, and we're talking about my current, I'm calling it a residency, social media takeover. I use the word residency because that's what most artists can relate to as I'm explaining it. I was explaining it to somebody and I was like, yeah. And they was like, well, so you mean you like have a residency? I said, yeah, that's the ticket.
Sure, we'll call it that.
We'll call it
partnership.
That. It's a partnership with Julie Hain and her efforts to include more communities into what South Jersey Cultural Alliance is doing. Now, I'm going to let you speak about this one because I know that there's earlier you talked about your monthly talks, and you have a talk coming up on February 8th.
February 8th. Yes, we do have an artist conversation. Our monthly artist conversation is happening on February 8th at 6 p.m. And it would be a great event to attend if you're an artist that's interested in residency opportunities. This month, I just had a great meeting with Danny Cook, who works for an organization called TerraCycle in Trenton, who has purchased a wonderful large new headquarters in Trenton, and they are looking to roll out a creative residency. And they haven't unveiled all the details, so I can't give you too much information about it here yet, but Danny's going to fill us in on all the details on February 8th. It is a fantastic opportunity for curators, artists, carpenters. There are really ways that just about anyone in arts and culture can get involved, from those of you that are in from the folk arts all the way up through fine art and craft and curating. So I'm very excited about the opportunity, and I think you will be too. So if you wanted to tune in at 6 o'clock on the 8th, you'll get all the details, and SJCA will also be sharing that as soon as they have the website and the applications open to the public. We will definitely be sharing that link with all of you. But the event is a great chance to meet your fellow artists in South Jersey, come connect with us, get some updates on some general things happening in South Jersey, and then learn more about this great new residency opportunity, because it's a good one.
Great. So let me ask you this. I am a relatively new artist with a moderate following. And Ray says, you need to catch up with what's happening with the South Jersey Cultural Alliance. Why should they? Tell me why. Tell me why any artist, rock, folk, ballet, hip hop, painter, board game designer, film actor should check out what's happening with South Jersey Cultural Alliance.
Well, I think that all artists in the field should want to connect with South Jersey because it helps us to create a reciprocal communication network with the field. So your voice and your participation and engagement in our monthly convenings and the Give a Toss platform and our social media, all of the ways that we reach out to you and provide avenues for you to give us information. It allows SJCA to understand what's happening in the field so that we can help support the vital work that you're out there doing. And, for the individual, you'll see benefit immediately when you join SJCA because you'll be involved in these convenings. So you'll be meeting your colleagues and hearing about the work they're doing, about resources they found, about new funding opportunities, about advocacy that you can get involved in and, champion these calls for action so that there's increased funds coming to the South that can make their way to artists doing that work. SJCA, oftentimes finds opportunities to provide funding directly to artists. So we're working on some opportunities for that right now. There are real opportunities to make a difference in the cultural community, to connect, to have an impact within your specific community, to learn about working with your municipalities and private businesses and other organizations and entities that are doing work in the area that you're doing work in. And being so spread out and every artist being focused on their own work, those connections and conversations are just invaluable, and from them spring collaborations, funding opportunities, resources that you didn't even know you needed until you had the conversation. So
Exactly.
tapping into us is a way to, help support your work, help support the work of your colleagues, learn about the cultural community and how it's affecting the greater South Jersey region, and to, just to do the work you do, but better, because we'll be there to help support your needs.
Wow. Can you give the website address one more time, please?
Sure, it's sjca.net.
Right. Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to say? Anything you want to talk about that I had forgot to ask you that I should have asked you?
No, I think we've covered just about everything. And I just want to reiterate that, SJCA is here solely to support the cultural field. So our only purpose for being here is understanding your needs, the way you're working, your challenges, your success stories, because we want to champion those too. So make sure you're connecting with us. Let us know you're there. Get into our email network so you can get all the updates and information, attend one of our events and meet your colleagues, and let's do this together.
Let's do this together. Ladies and gentlemen, she is Julie Hain. She is the executive director of the South Jersey Cultural Alliance. I say the whole thing because if I start doing the alphabet, I'll mess it up. So my name is Raymond Tyler, and we'll be back with more of The Light right after this.